You can go ahead. You said it's your show.
You have to do
Welcome to Honest Hockey, where two guys talk about all things hockey. Honestly, I'm Tom and he's Tom, and we both hate Tom Wilson.
I would like to start this off by apologizing to Connor McDavid.
To me already?
No, to Connor McDavid.
Yeah, he's not a dirty
He's
player
not
anymore.
a dirty player. No. Yeah, we can't consider Connor McDavid a dirty player when we have a predator in the National Hockey League.
The camera almost went out.
That's fine.
Jesus.
If you haven't guessed, the predator
It's Tom Wilson.
is Tom
How
Wilson.
dare we share a name with him?
That scumbag of the earth. That's fine. My mom said don't use the S-bag word. You know what? It's coming out. I'm going to give you guys a
She's gonna be
brief...
pissed off at you.
That's fine. I'm going to give you guys a brief little
Synopsis.
good word.
I'm bringing in all the big words.
Yeah,
now.
you are. On the suspension history of said Tom Wilson.
Got it. Not us. We're not Tom.
No.
We're not Tom Wilson.
September 22nd, 2017, he was suspended 2 games for a hit on Robert Thomas of the Blues' first suspension. October 1st, so 9 days later, suspended 4 games for boarding Sammy Blais, also of the St. Louis Blues. Mm-hmm. During the playoffs, he received a charging penalty. I actually forgot about this one. See if you remember. He receives a charging penalty for a hit on Wenberg, who didn't return to the game, but wasn't suspended because, and I quote from the NHL, a lack of camera angles.
Oh.
They
Gotta like that lack of camera angles.
They couldn't get, for a nationally televised playoff game, they couldn't get the playoff angles.
Well, they can't get the
camera
offside
angles.
things right anyway.
You're right.
So.
They can't get anything right. May 2018, same playoffs.
Got it.
Was suspended 3 games for an illegal check to the head of Zach Aston Reese. Okay? And then, right after that, he had a concussion because everyone's favorite enforcer, Ryan Reeves, came and destroyed him and gave him a concussion. Good job, Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
September 20th, 2018, suspended 20 games for an illegal hit to the head on Oscar Sundqvist of the Blues. These are 3 of the suspensions coming against the Blues.
Yeah, what's up with that? He must hate them or something.
And they don't even play in the same conference. So
yeah, right? I don't know what the hell is that about.
That was reduced to 14 games. And then March 6th of this year, 7 games for the hit on Brandon Carlo that sent him to the hospital.
Yes.
So, I don't know about you, but this sounds like a repeat offender.
No! It's only at the Blues!
Here, I'm going to have to Google the word repeat offender.
We wear blue.
We wear
The
it now?
Rangers wear blue. Yeah, that's it!
That's it. He
hates teams in blue colors!
Yep, you're right.
Wow,
100%.
we just broke the code.
100%. Now, if you're not aware, which I don't know who is not aware.
Yeah. If you're watching us, I don't know why you're watching it then.
Yeah, turn it off right now. But subscribe first if you want to. He started a little controversy the other night.
Yeah.
Okay? Just teeny bit. It might have changed the entire fabric of the NHL.
Yeah.
Right? I would say it's...
And a whole organization, maybe.
And yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Don't jump ahead.
I'm just foreshadowing. Right?
Good word.
Yeah. I mean, 2 in 1 video?
2 in 1 video? Wow.
I'm spoiling them.
Yeah. So, rewind to Monday night.
Yes.
Rangers are playing the Capitals. Madison Square Garden, set the scene. Smoky haze.
The fog?
The Russian prince, Pavel Buchnevich, lying there on the ground.
Defenseless, you would say.
Defenseless, you would say. Stick around his neck.
Oh.
Right?
You would think the rest run over there and try to help him out, right? Blow the call dead.
Nope.
Nothing.
Tom Wilson.
They sucked in the whistle?
They sucked in the whistle, yes. They did not blow the whistle. Tom Wilson comes. Banging down on Booch. Okay? I told you you'd have a doctor on standby for this. Then Ryan Strome comes to get Tom Wilson off of Booch. Right? Refs have to stop the play.
Of course.
Nope, that whistle still swallowed. And then Tom Wilson goes and starts trying to beat down on Ryan Strome.
Of course. Naturally.
Of course. So then who comes to the rescue? None other than the Rangers' best player, Artemi Panarin.
He's like, whoa. You're messing with the Russian? I'm Russian.
And you're messing with the center on my line? He's the center on my line. So that obviously, one of the faces of the NHL, you would say, right?
Yeah.
Refs have to blow the whistle.
Stop something.
Stop something. No.
I mean, they're trying. They're trying. They're there.
They're in the vicinity.
They're very in the vicinity.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they bought the pay-per-view.
Here comes Tom. Here comes Tom Wilson. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, not that many times, but yeah.
Yes. Grabs him by the hair.
Okay. This is where I'm gonna
body slams him onto the table.
We're gonna have to buy a new table. Onto the ice?
Onto the ice, thank you.
So Panarin actually lost his helmet on the play.
Yes, Tom Wilson went...
But actually, I'm pretty positive if you slow it down, you can actually see Tom Wilson almost deliberately take off
the helmet. Like that.
Exactly.
And then as Panarin's falling in slow motion, which it seemed, maybe because the video I watched was in slow motion?
Yeah. It's like you saw it in slow motion, right? Yeah, it makes sense.
You see Panarin put his hand down, and go...
to stop him from...
Because if he would have done a full velocity head to the ice...
we would be talking about something different.
We would be... angrier than I already am. Because the NHL...
dissolve the freaking channel!
Dissolve the league.
If this is what happened.
Dissolve the league. Because the NHL would have a death on their hands because of the... oh my god, I knocked out the candle. Because of this scumbag Tom Wilson, who you can't seem to get right. He always repeat offender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and you let him go with a $5,000 fine. This guy almost killed a man. Afterwards, he's like mocking him. And what do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You incompetent buffoons.
So, as Tom was saying, very loudly. We could be talking about a whole different thing. If Panarin hit his head on that ice with the weight of Tom Wilson, which is 200 plus, we could be talking about something very, very serious. Either
he's already injured.
He is injured. He's not playing the rest of the league, the rest of the season, which is
3 games.
It doesn't matter for us as Ranger fans or the organization. Doesn't really matter anymore. Obviously, it's just best to just call it quits. Obviously, imagine him playing again against Tom Wilson. I mean, obviously, we're actually watching the game as we film this, and if you know, the game started with a line brawl, and there's already been six fights within 5 minutes of the game. But we could be talking about something different, very, very serious. If anything, this might, obviously their incompetency of seeing that this should be a suspendable play. Something should change, and I feel like something is going to change.
Oh, can I?
Because something like that, we're always talking about the fighting in the helmets. If your helmet comes off, you're off the ice immediately, right? That's the goaltender.
Yeah.
The goalie whistle.
Oh, yes.
If you're playing, helmet comes off, you're off the ice right away.
Right.
I foresee something coming from this and saying that if you're in a fight, helmet comes off, it's done. If for some reason the person's off, that's what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. You have your own opinion. Mm-hmm. This is why it's Tom and Tom and not in Tom show.
Featuring Tom Wilson.
Exactly.
No, I do not foresee that.
I see something
because
happening.
The NHL could give a flying snickerdoodle.
About who?
About player safety.
That is true.
They say they care about player safety.
Yeah.
But they don't. They don't. All they care about is themselves. They wanted Tom Wilson to pay some money, so he did.
I wonder where this money goes. Is it like
Gary Bettman's lunch bill?
Probably.
They're going like Del Frisco's or something. They don't care. They don't care at all. And you know what really annoyed me today? Shane Gostisbehere.
Got suspended 2 games.
Got suspended 2 games for a little tiny
push
that sent a guy into the boards who was perfectly fine. He got right up afterwards.
There needs to be an explanation for this.
There is.
But a statement released from the NHL. When they review things from player safety.
Hold on. Live, me checking my phone.
Well, I'll continue talking.
Please continue talking, but I'll get what I want to say in a minute.
You know how every time there's a play or something happens, they explain why they're doing it.
Right.
There's that video and stuff like that. There should be a video of why, or an explanation to why this shouldn't have been a suspendable play.
So Emily Kaplan, who's the ESPN hockey writer, said the Department of Player Safety saw it. The fall on Buchnevich wasn't much. Okay, that's step 1. The punch is what Wilson got fined for. Everything after, 2 guys wrestling, which happens every night.
But that, when your body slams someone?
When John Scott, the biggest enforcer in the league, said,
has to say something.
Said, I love how Tom Wilson plays the game, but what the heck was he doing? NHL, what were you... He even went so far to say George Paros, the head of Department of Player Safety, must have money on the Capitals to win the cup.
Yes.
That he didn't do anything. You have Colton Orr telling Valaket he wants to come out of retirement. You have Georges Larac coming out saying, "Sign me, let me play." My favorite thing to come out of all this was the banding together of Rangers fans, Islanders fans, and Devils fans being like, "Yeah, we'll lend you Matt Martin, we'll lend you Ross Johnston to go and fight the Capitals."
And then the Prodigy accounts they're like, "Oh yeah, we're New York Islanders are lending so and so to the Rangers for tonight's game."
Like, we could all band together in our hatred of Tom Wilson. This great word.
Yes.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
If
this is not shaking up the NHL, or this is like something is going to happen.
Hold on.
It just even the league itself. It doesn't even have to be the executives or anything like that. This is shaking up the fan base.
Yes.
Because this is not so, like, this could have happened to anyone, and clearly he has done it to multiple teams. 3 of them were one team, but
4 of them wear the same color.
Exactly. But like, there's something that like where like almost the league is kind of a fan base coming together and being like, this is stupid. This is unacceptable. Like, this doesn't belong in hockey. And then there's always the people that say that fighting needs to be out, and then there's people that say that no, fighting should be in. Mm-hmm. But like, this is just stupid.
I was watching this game at the bar, and I had the Mets game on in my right eye, and
with
the
who
Rangers,
again?
With our Carolina correspondent, Mr. Kevin. Shout out, Mr. Kevin. I had the Rangers on in my left eye and the Mets on in my right eye, and I saw the happenings of, like, I didn't see the actual play, but like I really first started paying attention when I saw Panarin getting ragdolled.
Yeah.
I got up, and I had like anger coursing through my veins.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'll go fight Tom Wilson right now. I don't care. Let me at him. I'll fight him. And then there were Islander fans sitting across from me, and they're like, "This is unsafe word for YouTube. This guy needs to get kicked out of the league. You guys should do something." I'm like, "I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm right here. Put him up, Tom. I'm ready to fight you." So that was
the Tom should band it together.
Yes.
And oust Tom.
Yeah, you can't be in the special Tom club anymore. Yeah. But in response to this, the Rangers wrote a letter. Okay. The New York Rangers, who are at One Penn Plaza, New York, wrote a letter that said, "We are disgusted, blah, 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 blah."
We'll put it right here.
Yeah, we'll put it right here. George Parros should be, like, relieved of his duties as head of Department of Player Safety because he's an incompetent buffoon.
They didn't say that.
Not their words, my words, but it was paraphrased. That's what they meant. Right? So then everyone's like, "Oh my God, the Rangers are out here sending letters." We thought this was the end of it, right?
Yeah, we're like, all right, they did it, whatever. Maybe there'll be a response. But then, like, what is it? Like, a couple hours. It had to be a couple hours after that. Jeff Gorton.
No, it was a day. They sent the letter last night.
Was it last night?
Yeah, they sent the last night.
Whatever.
Still
a couple hours.
Well, a couple hours, yeah. in a couple hours. So yeah, fast forward. Yeah. And you actually broke this news to me. You told me to go check Twitter.
Yes.
And what happened?
Jeff Gorton and Davidson were both relieved of their
duties
as
Rangers general manager and president of operations. Now, I have never seen, maybe like the 1-for-1 trade with Taylor Hall and Adam Larson was like the last time I saw Twitter so universally confused.
Yes, like this was just, I was confused. I was flabbergasted.
I thought it was fake.
Right?
It was not fake.
It was not fake.
And it's
so there's a couple theories.
We're hours after this news broke.
Yes.
And we still are confused.
Yeah.
There's a couple theories, you're right. The first theory is what they're saying it is that it's performance-based.
Performance-based. Which you don't believe.
Not in the slightest.
But then, now there's word that came out that it is actually truly performance-based because the letter actually came from Dolan.
Right.
Which is the owner.
I could do an entire episode.
Well, we're not doing that.
James Dolan.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
But apparently the letter came from Dolan.
Yeah, okay. So but
that's not fully confirmed yet. It could be speculation, but where I got the news, he's pretty credible, the person I got the news from.
Right. But even if the letter came, even if it's performance-based, right? Yeah. I put together a little paragraph here of things that John Davidson and Jeff Gorton have done. John Davidson turned around the Blues and the Blue Jackets. And you know how hard it is to turn around the Blue Jackets?
But
nobody wants to wear in those uniforms.
Jerseys, yeah, no.
Traded for Panarin with Columbus, which then laid the groundwork to sign Panarin as a Ranger. Okay? He was brought in here. It was like the coup of the century getting him brought in here.
Oh, yeah.
And he's out after not even, 2 years?
No, I think it was 2019 when we got him.
Yeah. Jeff Gorton. Traded for Adam Fox.
Norris
Trophy winner.
We're calling it now.
Do not disagree with that. Ryan Spooner for Ryan Strome.
Ryan for Ryan.
Check.
I mean, you can't get better than that.
Traded up in the draft to draft Keandre Miller.
What a...
Check.
Love that man.
Got Ryan Lindgren for a half a season rental of Rick Nash to Boston. Check. Ryan Lindgren's a 20-plus minute defender on the top line. Steal of the century, traded a 7th and Derek Brassard for Mika Zibanejad and a 2nd-round pick.
And somehow it's performance-based?
And now, the only questionable deal was the deal of McDonough and Miller to Tampa.
True.
For Hayek and the useless man that is Brett Howden. However, there's a caveat to that. We got a 1st-round pick in that. And you know who the 1st-round pick was used to draft? Nils Lundqvist, who is our top prospect and is looking like he'll be a top 4 defenseman in the league. So I don't know where this is. How can you say this performance-based, especially when David frickin' Quinn is still behind the bench?
So that's why there's so much speculation saying that it was them that wrote it out, and there's pressure from the NHL. The NHL pressured Nolan, and Nolan and fired both of them. Or it was vice versa, where it was Davidson had pressure to fire Gorton.
He didn't
and
want
he didn't want to. Then they both got fired.
Correct. Another thing, there are some really shocked GMs out there. There's a couple of people who are like, oh, I texted with with other GMs, and they're like, wow, and they're like, holy bleep, and they're like, stupidest move ever. Like, the GMs are shocked. Davidson and Gorton will not be out of a job for long. No, probably not in the slightest. And
I'm upset. Because I remember sitting there and we were like, remember a couple years back we were like, oh yeah, we're Gorton. Remember, we're doing all, like, we were just fooling around. Like, these are good people, and like they did a lot of things. They put the letter out there, and
the letter was put out there on February 8th, 2018.
And look where we are now.
And look where they technically made the playoffs last year. Technically. They were competing in the hardest division in hockey. Every other division, they would have been a playoff team. Yeah. It just blows my mind how you could look at this and say it's performance-based, which is why I do not in the slightest believe it. Yeah. It's just, even if, James Dolan is a moron.
Also, if there is some news that it is confirmed that it is performance, we'll put it here. Obviously, while we're editing, and if there is some news that it is truly, we'll put it there.
James Dolan is an idiot, okay? Many ways. Again, this is not a basketball channel, so I can't go into what he did to the Knicks. However, the fact that he would do this today just makes it so much worse to fuel speculation that it had to do with the letter. Yeah. Now,
I do have to say something, because, I have to be the devil's advocate here, because, you don't fire someone that quickly. It's just not possible.
Correct.
In any organization, whatever it is, you have to build a case to fire someone. It's just not possible.
Agreed.
You can't just sit there unless you own the business yourself and you can do whatever you want. You have no HR system. But this is organization. Right. You can't sit there and be like, all right, yeah, you know what? They wrote that letter or whatever, or we're just gonna get rid of them because we don't want them anymore. It doesn't work that way. So yes, this could have been in the works, and it just happened to fall on this. But it's hard to believe.
My question here is, I'm going under the assumption, because it's the only way that's going to get me through today, is that David Quinn will be fired at the end of the season.
Probably.
Why wasn't this done at the end of the season?
So, why wasn't it done?
There's a week left in the season. There's not even a week left in the season.
Listen, we're done in this
3 games.
Two more games.
Tonight, there's 2 games against Boston.
Call it after that.
After that. Last day of the season.
And then let the season rock.
In the NFL, it's known as Black Monday, because the Monday after the season's over, all the coaches get fired.
Yeah.
If David Quinn is going to get fired, if David Quinn
somehow stays.
If David Quinn somehow stays, and the architects of this team get canned,
that doesn't make sense.
I'm chaining myself to Madison Square Garden. You heard it here first, folks.
We'll go live.
Like Barstool chained themselves to the NFL headquarters. I'm doing it to Madison Square Garden. I'm not leaving until I talk to James Dolan. And I saw a bunch of people who I follow on Twitter who are Knicks and Rangers fans said, I'm gonna get myself banned from the Garden next year because James Dolan loves to ban people from the Garden. Literally, you have to be like, your hair is stupid. Banned from the Garden! That's all you really have to do.
So I guess maybe...
I'm getting myself banned from the Garden next year.
Wait, we want to go to games.
I don't want to go to games if this is the disgrace they're going to bring upon the league.
So the only
saving grace is Chris Drury is the GM and president.
Is that it?
And Chris Drury, I have faith in.
But the thing is that they can't let him do both. Like, I understand...
No. It says new GM and president. They're letting him do both right here.
But, like, there's two positions for two reasons. Like, he can't handle both.
Well, to be fair, no. The president of operations is a made-up title.
But why have it then? If it's made up, then it has to be someone there.
It's basically a position higher than the GM. The only teams who have a president of operations that you really know about is teams who want to like reward somebody who's like been with them, like a former ex-player who they.
There has to be some help though. There has to be someone.
But Chris Drury can do it.
Yeah,
and
that's the only saving grace.
I would rather it be Chris Drury doing both than Chris Drury and Mark Messier.
Yeah, and then also Mark Messier then was just saying that like,
shout out on the Michael
here.
K show. Shout out Michael K.
Yeah. He was just like, oh yeah, I'll help out in any ways, years to come. Yeah. Like almost like insinuating that he's gonna get a
contract. How'd that work out for you in Vancouver, Mark? And also, the quote that annoyed me is a quote that's going around everyone saying, is the Rangers need more grit. Yeah. Shut up! No, they don't. No. Keandre Miller is a gigantic defenseman.
And and
Chris Kreider will punch anybody.
But it's funny because like I'm watching the game for the first period. Miller doesn't do anything. He's a skill-based defenseman. Mm-hmm. He is not there. Huge. He's huge, but he's not there to rough and tough anyone.
No.
And like that's the one thing that I like about the Rangers is that like, you know, we kind of cleaned up shop of like those people, you know, with dropping Lemieux and stuff like that. But like,
could you imagine what happened if Lemieux was on the Rangers?
Oh, forget it. He would have jumped. He would have jumped the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, like, there was no way. He would
absolutely not.
He would probably get suspended over
Tom Wilson. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Just like if the Rangers want to go out and grit it up. To get me like one fourth line guy. Bring me Tanner Glass back. Yeah. I love Tanner Glass. I miss him with the dying passion.
What was that video I sent you of that prospect that we have?
Oh, that gigantic fella. Like 6'6", like the Chara.
We have
guy.
a Chara coming. This guy 6'6". This guy was just like... And that was it. And the guy was like 10 feet across the ice. Like he barely even hit him.
Yeah, they said he's going to be in camp next year. So I don't see why they couldn't have called him up tonight.
Yeah, right? Call him over. Fly him over.
Yeah.
But... I digress
as well. That's all I got.
There has to be some change going on. Like there has to something change in the NHL. Like we talked about some changes that we wanted to implement and with diversity and inequality and stuff like that. But this has to happen too.
This is
add it to the punch board. Like it's just like this has like the list of things that have to happen. It just doesn't make sense and
also I would bet every penny I have that when Tom Wilson no longer plays hockey. Maybe even when Tom Wilson passes away. God forbid whenever that happens. He will have CTE.
Probably.
That's the only logical explanation for why he does what he does and why he acted like a buffoon afterwards.
And this is Tom not wishing ill on someone.
I'm not wishing ill on anyone.
No one.
I'm just saying, I've seen this enough in football to know the signs of a player doing crazy things. Tom Wilson has CTE from repetitive hits to the head. Yeah. Has to be. Only logical explanation because I don't want to think he's the worst person in the history of hockey.
Because the thing is that, look, listen, the way Tom Wilson plays is good.
Yeah, everyone loves a guy who plays on the edge and can score goals. He's very talented.
The guy's good.
He's talented.
But, like, there's
he's an
something.
Idiot.
You know, but, like, even, like, it was, like, they were even comparing his behavior to Marchand.
Yes.
And, like, how, like, he got suspended and he was just like, all right, I need to chill. Yes. Like, this, like, we haven't heard anything.
No.
He doesn't do anything really that dirty-ish or whatever.
Brad Marchand, the extent he goes now is licking people.
But still, at least like it clicked in his head to say, hey, I need to stop this. This is stupid. So you might be right on this, and maybe years from now we look back at this and there is something, and you know, hopefully there is help. That there's people and maybe Carcillo can help out and stuff.
Carcillo said he was going to release a video about it. I haven't seen what he said yet.
Yeah,
so I got to go check that out.
Maybe Carcillo, like, you know, with all his research that he's doing, all his like stuff that he's doing, maybe there is something, and maybe when Tom Wilson retires, they can do something. But unfortunately,
he hasn't even apologized.
Yes, but like,
also wait, one more thing, and I swear we'll end the video. How didn't he get a game misconduct? How is it that he got a 10-minute misconduct? I was so confused because I thought he got a game misconduct.
Yeah, same.
And then I was super confused when he scored the empty net.
Yeah, I was a little confused too.
You don't even kick him out for the game.
Yeah.
buffoonery. Thanks for watching this episode of Honest Hockey. Be sure to give us a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to cross-check that subscribe button. I'm Tom. He's Tom. Cross-check Tom Wilson if you can. If you see him in the street, just cross-check him. Tell him I told you to do it. Thanks for watching.
At least Tom Wilson will never go to the Blue Jackets.
You know, the Blue Jackets, we rail on them. They're classier than Tom Wilson.
Exactly.
Mommy,
Yes?
is everything okay?
Yes?
Oh, you scared me.
They're filming.
You scared me.
I'm sorry.